Hi, this is Linda, and I am continuing my series, Beginning American English. I have two series. One is called Explaining American English. This is Beginning American English, and this is Lesson 2. I will be talking about first conversations. If you watched Lesson 1, I introduced the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, the order of the letters, what the letters looked like, and what the names of the letters are. I am not going to teach pronunciation. The reason I'm not teaching pronunciation of those letters is I've already done it. If you go to the videos called Explaining American English, there are 6 videos about pronunciation, 2 about consonants, 1 about vowels. This one is just a general background. Many people aren't even watching that one. But this one, vowel pronunciation rules, a few rules, and then tips and tricks to help you be understood. Especially 1 and 2 and 3 and 5. I recommend you watch those for the sounds that letters make. But for our conversation, beginning conversation, I'm going to do this one that if you study English, you get something very much like this. Let me get it up closer so you can see. Oops. Okay, I'm up closer so that you can see. This is the conversation that people who start to learn English usually learn. I'm going to share the conversation and also a few pronunciation guides to say this correctly so that people understand you and you understand them. The part in blue is a second person speaking. Part in black will be me at first. Hello, my name is Linda. What is your name? It could be, what's your name? Hello, my name is Linda. What's your name? The other person says, my name is Louise. So I say, how are you? And Louise says, I am fine. And you? And I say, I am fine, or I'm fine. Have a good day. And Louise says, you too. Goodbye, I say. Goodbye, Louise says. This is the basic greeting. Notice I said, I am fine, and then I said, I'm fine. Both are just fine to say. This is even more common. I would say, I'm fine. This and you means I'm asking you the same question. How I'm repeating. This is like saying, and you, I'm repeating, how are you? So she says, I'm fine. And then when I say, have a good day, you too means you have a good day too also. And then our goodbyes. Now let me talk about pronunciation before we move on. Hello, no problem. Some students have trouble with this next part. My name is Linda. For one thing, we don't want to break it up. My name is Linda. Get it all together. Some people say, my name is, and don't say the M. I hear it many times with beginning students. My name is, and then when we get to is, we don't want anything after it. Is, and then the next word. My name is Linda. If you can't keep from saying isa, change the to h. My name is Linda. That way we don't hear that sound. Hello, my name is Linda. Or hello, my name is Linda. What I'm going to use this one. What's your name? I can go, what's your name? If I say this, what is, I'm going to break it there. Quick stop. What is? Because I don't want to explode the T and say, what is? So I'm going to say, what is your name? Or what's your name? My name is, same as this. How are you? If you're in England, it's going to sound different. They'll say how, and we say how. This way in America, this way in England. How in England, how in America, how. How are. In England, they might say aw, and they don't pronounce the R separately, but we do. We say, how are you? How are you? So the R gets its own sound. It's almost like a vowel. Let me say this about the letter R. I have been teaching the sound of R many times, so let me give you another clue about pronouncing R. It's in the older video. But I teach that if you have a piece of candy on your tongue, you don't want it to fall out, so you curl up your tongue a little bit on each side so that it doesn't fall out until you move to the next word. R, you're holding the candy. But some students go R really tall. Think of it this way. What you're making is a saucer, not a cup. You want it barely rounded, R, not So make a saucer. It's pretty flat, but it has an edge on it, not a cup. That's how you make the R sound, the way we make it. So it's how, this way. How are you? I am fine, or I am fine if you want to put it together, or I'm fine. And you, we want the D to go right into the U. And you, not and a you. And you, I'm fine. Have a good day. You too. And then when we say goodbye, we don't want a vowel sound in between the D and the B. So we're going to hold that D until we're ready to say B. Goodbye, not goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. Keep the D in position until the B is ready. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Not goodbye, goodbye. Very good. Okay. Now, variations to that conversation. When you say hello, you could also say hi. Very common. Hi. Or many times we just say good morning. When I go for my walk, if I'm passing someone, often I don't say hello. I say good morning, and they say good morning, and that's it. If it's after lunch, after 12 o'clock, good afternoon. Good afternoon. That's all. Good evening. That's when it's about sundown. There's still some time before you go to bed left, so we'd say good evening. We don't say good night for a greeting. A good night is, I'm not going to see you anymore. I'm going to sleep. Good night, bye. It's like saying bye, good night. We don't want to say good night as a greeting. We use these as greetings. Again, it's good morning with no break, but then we don't have to worry about it here. Good afternoon, good evening. We just go straight to the vowel. The word hi. In the United States, we have regions of the country that say the I sound differently. In the far south, you might hear ah, just one sound, ah. In the middle of the United States, and this is more standard, we would say I am going. It's I. And then far north, they're probably going to sound more like the British or the English said, hi, dropping the jaw more, and not as wide. So it's hi up north, hi in the middle, ha in some parts of the south, but it's still the greeting. Short hello, hi, Hi. I say hi. Another thing that you can change is when someone says, how are you? I am well. I'm good. That means I'm in a good situation, not that I'm a good person. I'm doing well. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm doing okay. Okay. Those are more traditional answers to how are you. Besides saying have a nice day, you can say have a good evening or a good day, have a good weekend, have a good week, but nice and good are alternated. Have a good day, have a nice day, have a good week, have a nice week, have a nice, have a good, whatever time it is. Okay. And then when we say goodbye, many times we just say bye or see you later or see you around or see ya. Now, later, notice I said later. A T in the middle of two vowel sounds often sounds like a D instead of a T. We usually do not say later. We say later. It's okay to say later, but we're in a hurry and we're already vibrating, so we keep vibrating later. And we go later, later, later. Bye. See you later. See you around. See ya. Those are common goodbyes. Now let's get into a little bit more of the, oops, get that page here. Let's get more into the very casual ways to say some of those things. If someone says hello, instead of saying how are you, they might say what's going on, or what's up, just this much, or what's with you, what's up with you, what's up with you these days, what's up with you lately, what's happening, or there's the very, very casual what's up or sup. But those are very casual, and I would only use those sometimes with someone I was very close to and we're just friends. But most of the time I wouldn't use these, but I could. What's the answer? Well, when we said how, we would say fine, good, okay. But this is what? This is like asking for a noun, so we can't use how or fine. So we'd say nothing, nothing's going on, nothing, nothing much, not much. And then to ask the question back, instead of and you, we might say, how about you? And you would say, nothing much, maybe. Or what about you? How about you or what about you mean the same thing. And you might answer, instead of these, you might say the usual, or same old, means the same thing as it always has been. Same, same. Same old, same old. These are some, not all, but some of the other versions of the conversation that I showed you. Two other conversations that you will hear, or questions you will hear. Where do you live? And to answer that, we would answer in this form. I live in a city, such as New York. I live in a state. I live in Kansas, or a country. I live in the United States, if we're here practicing. I live in the United States, or I live in America. But if we're telling the city, I live in a city, we might tell the address. If someone is asking you, where do you live, and they're filling out a form, writing it down, they want to know your exact address. So you're going to give the number and the street at. And then to ask back, you would say, and you, if you're meeting someone. But maybe you don't want them to know your exact address, and you don't need to tell them your exact address, but you're in the same town, and they say, where do you live? You could say, I live on, and just tell me the street, or tell them the street. You don't want to tell them the exact address. I live on West Street. I live on Nice Street. Just the name of a street. That's all you need to know. And then I could ask, and you tell me where you live. Here is an example. I live in Dallas at, you could say 111, or often we would say 111 Tree Street. I live in Dallas at 111 Tree Street. Or if I don't want you to know that much, I would say I live on Tree Street. Now I said I live in Dallas. I could also say I live in Texas, I live in the United States. Another very common question is, where are you from? And if I'm in Texas and someone asks me that, I would say I am from, and give a town, like Abilene. I am from Abilene. If we're in another state and they said, where are you from? I would say I am from Texas. If I'm in another country and they say, where are you from? I would say the United States. Unless they needed to know more than that. But this is where I was born and where I was raised. That's me. For you, it would be another country. And if somebody says, where are you from? You might say, I am from China, or I am from Australia. But an example would be, I am from Houston, Texas. Probably not that. I am from Houston, Texas. Or I am from America, if you're outside the United States. So those are the beginning conversations. If you don't understand all of that, practice just the sentences. Repeat the sentences as you watch the video. And that's all for today.